Hello everyone. I'm back here with another video. Today's message is pretty important, so I hope you listen up and take this to heart. This is very important, so I'm just going to dive right into it. It's about that actual happiness, lasting, does not come from any outside source. Happiness comes from in here, comes from inside. You have it all along in here. Some people think, oh, if I have a fancy house or a big man or big house or cars or lots of women or money, or then I'll be happy. Or if I just achieve this goal or just achieve this, then I'll be happy. No, because you always want something more. That's why Bill Gates goes to work every morning. That's why, wealthy people who have a lot of stuff aren't necessarily happy. I mean, they could be, but that doesn't come from the money itself. And besides, what do you get from the accumulation of more stuff? As for me, I get more satisfaction knowing that I've helped other people. I get more joy from that. But yes, the happiness comes from within here. Our default state is happiness. Okay? It comes from in here, in the heart, not from any outside source. Which also leads me into what this channel is all about. Love, peace, and unity. The love part is when you're loving others. You're more selfless. You're not more materialistic. I've dropped that a while ago. I've realized that happiness and joy comes from in here. I've experienced it myself. And I don't ask for a lot more materialistic stuff anymore. A good example I can show you, purely for the example of illustrating my point, nothing else, just illustrate. This past Christmas, 2017, my entire family comes over. It's not that often that they do. Every other year because they're scattered around the country. But when they did come, beforehand, before Christmas, I asked, what do you want? I originally asked for stuff I needed. I needed new tires for my car. I actually had to get that myself, which is kind of expensive. Anyways, that's not the point. I didn't really want anything else. I didn't really ask for anything because I knew this stuff wouldn't make me happy. Why would I want something like this? It's either going to cause more problems. I'll either want something else to give me that little high. You know that high, right? If you get a new item, or if you get a girl's number, you're like, oh yeah, something cool, something good that you think. It gives you that little high in here, but it doesn't last. What's the longest you felt happiness? What's the longest you've been happy? You felt happy? A day, probably a day, right? Actually, not even a day, probably. Because you always have worry come in, and then you're like, oh, I gotta get that high again. It's a vicious cycle. That's why people jump into materialistic wealth. Or they try to find these little bursts of happiness and maybe an escape. If you have a problem and you try to escape it instead of confronting it, which you should do, which I'll get into later. The key point here is, when I was at Christmas, the greatest gift I got was this. Basically, I don't know if you can see it. It says, Merry Christmas, Colin. I know you didn't want much for Christmas and know that you care about others and want to make this world a better place. So basically my sister-in-law donated $200 worth of medicine to a child in need. And to be honest, this was the most meaningful gift I've ever gotten. Because when you're more materialistic, stuff that comes from the heart and loving others, things of love, peace, and that bring us together, that means more. See, that's not something that's materialistic that brought me joy. That's something that's from the heart. I found happiness within here. So the main point here that I'm trying to accentuate out there is, don't look for happiness in material wealth. That's not going to bring you happiness. Okay? Because you're always going to want more, and it's a vicious cycle. It's not going to help you. It's just going to bring you down, and it's just going to make you feel more depressed and more dependent upon things that will not bring you joy. Family, friends, love, things, it comes from in here, in the heart. That's the main purpose here. What I'm challenging you guys to do is to be selfless here. Is to seek non-materialistic things. Is to look deep inside your heart and find that all this exists within you. You can find all this within you. Happiness can come from within. Love comes from within. You don't need a lot of material wealth to be happy. So, I challenge all of you guys out there to really search your souls. Really take a moment. Look inside and ask yourself, is this materialistic possession that I have, is it making me happy? Or am I craving more and more and more of it? If it's not making me happy, what should I do? So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next video.